Hi, hello, and good evening. It is November 28th, and we have two episodes of The Amazing Race to discuss, but really perfectly seated, perfectly timed now, isn't it? Because it is at the conclusion of this mega leg. Okay, wait. No one's sitting where they're supposed to. John came in after, and I'm like, why is what is going on here? For our audio only friends, everybody has assigned seats, and we were not in them. So yeah, we fixed it. So yes, we saw the departure. You see what I did there? Departure, for traveling. Thank you. I'll take my props if you're not going to give them. We saw the departure of Marcus and Michael, and we'll get into all the shenanigans surrounding this, and the cancellation of John's chance of having a winner pick. Okay. The only person with a horse in this race is the Lady Morgino.
It's all up to mom and dad now.
It is. But yeah, let's get into it. I am Kyle Petty, and I am joined by my favorite racers, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino. This is Strat Chat. You can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. We're talking the Amazing Race tonight on our Mon Juan Monday series.
Oh, God.
Yep. Mon Juan shall never die. CBB US 3. Let's go. It was a hot mess except for Mon Juan. Anyway, we're talking Amazing Race. We had a mega leg these last two episodes. And I gotta say, Wild West.
Sure.
I know. We'll take it.
I like it.
Where were we? Spain, right? We're in Spain?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
France, Spain. So in our first episode 9, the beginning of said leg that was mega, our first roadblock, we had one team member needing to arrange 6 glass panels in order to recreate Pablo Picasso's 3 musicians to receive their next clue. We kind of got into this a little bit last week, right? With Louis and Michelle.
A little bit, yeah.
Interesting one. Yeah. I know that I would have had the roughest time with this.
Especially because, and we talked about this with them, because I guess when you're watching it on the screen, you can't really tell what you're looking at with the glass panels, right? So even me, I was like, this does not look like the picture they're supposed to make, but they're saying it's correct. So I guess it is. And you would think that that's just a camera thing. But I remember Michelle saying when she was talking to us, no, that's how it looked in person. So not only is it an incredibly difficult task to do in the first place, but it also doesn't look like the thing you're supposed to make it look like. How is anyone doing this?
Right.
Yeah.
When they got it right, I feel like I'd give up.
Right, when they were getting it right, and the expert artist, was giving them the thumbs up or whatever, I was like, that looked exactly the same as the last time they did it, and it was wrong.
Right, I don't understand.
Yeah.
So
I gave up even trying to act like I could perceive what was going on.
Right.
I was like, I'm not even going to look at this as if this is something.
It was so hard.
Yeah. Difficult, very, very difficult. So props to all those who did it. Good for you. Now in this second roadblock, one team member, regardless, of who performed the first roadblock, now they had to walk across a tightrope suspended 300 feet above the El Tahoe Gorge and strung beneath. My mind charged this. Strung beneath Puente Nuevo, and then select the clue marked with the flag of Andalusia.
Wait, this was the second episode,
right? This doesn't sound right.
No, that was the second episode.
I felt like these kind of bled into each other, though.
I see what's happening here.
Wasn't there a to be continued,
Well, yeah, it was a
Wasn't
mega
to be
leg,
continued.
but
This was to be continued. This
Right,
was.
but I
second
felt like they
episode.
kind of.
We're not even here. We're not even here. We should be talking about the first detour. Big mistake on my part. This would have
That's okay.
pre-read the.
I was like,
the
wait, I watched
Wikipedia
that
notes.
today.
Right, I'm reading this and I'm like, I just watched this. Not it. Not it. We had a detour between fish fry or sailboat
Mhm.
supply. Here
Right,
it
right,
was.
right.
Here it was. Right. In fish fry, the teams had to skewer
Oh yes.
and roast 18 sardines in order to create a local dish called Nope and receive their next clue. Now, in sailboat supply, the teams had to inflate a stand-up paddleboard and then deliver life vest and a cooler filled with ice to a yacht anchored offshore to receive their next clue. All right, now what would you have done here? I definitely would have done fish fry.
Fish is 1,000 times easier. For sure, fish fry.
Right.
Yeah.
Except that's not how Lewis and Michelle made it look.
Right. No,
I mean,
they killed
like-
the sailboat.
Yeah.
It was also just so funny, and we talked about this the other day of like everyone cheering them on and be like, yeah, no one cheers for fish. Fish isn't fun. Fish isn't exciting. Look at
It's
what
not
we're
fun.
doing.
There's
That's the cool
cooking.
one.
And they
Yeah.
did great. And they're just
They
so
really
much fun
did. They
to
got it on
watch.
the first try. Even like
Yeah.
there were a couple of times that it looked like they were gonna lose it, and they did it perfectly on the first try. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that one moment where the bucket of ice fell over.
Mhm.
And like I was like, oh no,
Got
because the
nervous.
bucket
Mhm.
was on its side, and I was like, oh, that really can't.
And that
be good.
current looked really strong too.
Yeah, that
Very
was tough.
choppy, those waves. Very
Mhm.
choppy.
Very choppy. And I also felt like must have taken a very long time to pump that paddleboard up.
Oh,
Like,
God.
Oh
that
yeah.
did not take 2 seconds. That really,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
I just love watching Lewis and Michelle do everything. I feel like they're so much fun. And like Marcus and Michael were my winner picks, and I was definitely rooting for them. But like even a few weeks ago, I felt like Lewis and Michelle had just become my favorite duo. Like they're just so
They just
fun.
have such a
I
good
don't know.
attitude.
Yeah, just the way they root for each other too. Like it's
Yeah.
just so endearing.
hmm
Yeah. I love it. Well, they're the only ones who did sailboat supply,
Right.
right? Everyone else did the fish fry.
That's correct.
And this is where we saw Derek and Claire helping Audrey and David, reminding them to salt said sardines.
Mhm.
And this did come into play later in the mega leg, which is certainly something I would like to dive into.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Matt's here. Is honestly coming in here with no context is hilarious because I just see Gina not having it with fish.
I was quoting somebody.
So good. So good. No, she did want the fish fry over the other option. Yeah.
I would absolutely do fish fry.
Although I would not have been good with the skewering. You know, I would have
You would
helped.
prefer the salting?
I would have done the salting, the roasting is fine. I would have watched it, make sure everybody cooked evenly. But there's absolutely no way, because the way they were talking about how the blade had to go like under the spine or do whatever it was and come out of this gill, I'm like,
Guts are falling out.
Like, yeah,
Everything's falling apart.
no. There is no.
Have you ever gone fish?
What?
Have you ever gone like fishing? Have you ever gone fishing and like had to put the bait on the hook or anything like that?
Okay.
No, it's like,
I have gone fishing. Believe it or not, I was a Boy Scout.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I know. Fun, awful fact about me. I was a Boy Scout. And I did go fishing. We did not use worms for bait though. They're these little pink things that came in this jar. Oh, and it smelled god awful. It came in this sludge.
Sludge is not a good word.
Right. Yeah. I'll never forget the way that it smelled. That the texture and look of it was that of the gelatinous substance that seems to surround a Vienna sausage.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
It was that texture with a very different smell, but it was this pink thing that you put at the end.
Was it like fish chum? Like
yeah, it was it had to
stuff?
be something like that. I mean, it was just awful. When you would cast your line, it would be behind you. I mean, it was just like a mess. It was just break up. It was just very, very bad. Yeah, I was a Boy Scout. Sorry.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wasn't a Boy Scout.
You weren't?
I never did that. No, I never did
You
it.
didn't miss anything. A lot of mosquito
My
bites.
parents put me in. My parents put me in Irish step dancing instead.
Really?
That is
Yeah.
far more interesting.
Oh my god, I need to hear more about that.
Can't believe we've all been friends for more than a decade, and it's the first time I've ever told you.
1,000% the first I have ever heard about this.
I did not know that you were an Irish step
Oh
dancer.
my god.
Where is their video?
Please.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I
We'll
don't need
see.
you.
I'm gonna
I
see
don't need
something.
you. I'll go to Mary Kate right now. Hold on. Let's get his sister involved. I'm like, hey, baby girl.
She did it too. Actually,
Which means she definitely has video. All right, girls are definitely more proud
she's
of their
gonna hook us
performances
up.
than the boys. Oh yeah, yeah, we'll get her. She'll help us.
Oh
More
my
to come.
god.
More to come.
Wow.
John will just see
You
himself
see-
tagged on the socials.
do
A young
you
John.
see what Matt said? Every boy's childhood dilemma: choosing Boy Scouts or Irish step dancing.
And what's so fun about that
Iconic, John.
is that,
Oh my god.
I mean, obviously, if not for the racial end of things, one would think that I'd be the Irish step dancer. Yeah, that's very fun. That's very fun.
That's like my favorite thing I've learned on this podcast, I think.
It's definitely mine, not I think. I'm sold. I'm in. And we will get video. I'm going to work very hard on this. Yes, this is definitely my new side.
Very
project.
top priority.
I'm taking PTO tomorrow to make sure that I can dive deep into this one. We're texting everyone, the whole family. So anyway, so that was that. That was that on the first
fish
episode
fry.
of Fish Fry. We had the Fish Fry and Sailboats Fly. And that was that. I don't really know how that episode ended. And
Oh, well,
it
did we
kinda
want to
doesn't
get
matter.
into the Derek and Claire, Aubrey and David thing now or later?
Well, it depends. I mean, what
You
else
just
do
said you
have
wanted to
I
get
feel
into it. I don't know if that means now or later.
Well, I mean, it does sort of come up when we're now talking about who's helping who with the
Right.
castanets.
Yes.
And that's where I thought I might bring it up. But if you had a thought prior,
Oh, no,
you know.
I can wait. I can wait.
That's all. You have to understand the predicament. You put the person in when you ask that question. It's like, I know, am I silencing you by saying no?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Or
I'm
am I,
sorry.
you
I'm
know-
just asking. I don't want to
No,
forget
I'm just
about
saying,
it.
it's very tricky. It's very tricky. So we're opening up the next episode with this second roadblock. This is that thing that we told you about. The tightrope against the El Tahoe Gorge. Strung beneath Puente Nuevo.
Was that the first thing, or I thought the
I don't
castanets
know.
happened
I
first?
don't know.
I think that was. I think the castanets were first.
Roadblock. Usually the roadblocks. I'm so sick of saying these things. Now I have to say it again. Damn it.
No, I'm pretty sure the other
you're
challenge
right.
was first.
I know. I just hate that I have to do it again. So now,
No, the wikis are not on your side today.
Right. It's also because the wikis are not really in order because they just list them together. So it's just roadblocks and then it's detours.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to be cunning and swift and just go for it. And it's just not, it has not worked in my favor at any step. So the detour was a choice between bend over backwards or dress for success. In Bend Over Backwards, we saw our teams having to assemble a Moorish brick arc in order to receive their next clue. And in Dress for Success, these teams had to accessorize a flamenco dancer so that she matched an onstage performer in order to receive their next clue. You laughing at me? I definitely would have done Dress for Success. I definitely would have done Dress for Success. My issue with this is that there were no blinders. They should have treated this like the ballot system. Like you should walk into a booth or something. So I don't want people to see my shawl. Don't be looking at my roses.
Oh, like seeing what everybody else is buying.
Yeah, I don't want you looking at my stuff because if I start getting stuff correctly, then you're gonna be looking at mine. Then you'll be hot on my trail. No.
I'm picturing flamenco dancers standing inside those old school voting booths that you have to walk up and do the tring. And it just opens. There's just a woman standing there waiting for you to dress her.
Yes, not even knowing if a pair is even going to come in because what if they don't choose this? She's just standing there. No, I'm sure they get in there when they know somebody's coming. I'm sure there's a thing. I'm sure there's walkie talkies. go for Karen, and Karen will tell you to get in the booth because people are coming, Anyway, so yeah, I just thought there should be some kind of blinders to kind of block people from seeing your answer, So I thought that was a miss. Would have made me uncomfortable. What would you have chosen?
Oh man, I feel like I would have chosen Dress for Success. I did kind of like that the bend over backwards one though. That was kind of fun to watch. I kind of like
fun
those
to watch. I wouldn't have
a little
wanted
bit
to
of
do
a
it.
puzzle.
Yeah.
It just feels like kind of like a puzzle. It's one. I like that kind of stuff. So I feel like I would have liked to try that one, but the Dress for Success I feel like was the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked the arch thing more as a roadblock. I would have liked to see everyone do it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It would have been interesting to me to see some people struggle with it too. Like no one in particular, but just to see a difference. Because it was a fun one to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And Michael and Marcus were the only ones to pick that, right?
They were. And it looked like they really did it with aplomb.
I mean, the two of them always work so well together. And it baffles me every time because we've talked about it before. You'll see them earlier in the episode at each other's throats. And I'm like, oh, these two are about to implode. And then they get to the challenge and they're like, beep, boop, bop, the easiest time anyone's ever had doing a challenge ever. And it's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like their navigation skills really helped them, early on too. It's just that now there's just no room for error.
Yeah,
and it felt like they fell behind in this one, right? They fell behind in this one, and then they just could not come back. And I feel like all the teams that are left are really good teams.
Yeah.
They're really, really good pairs.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Now the Aubrey and David thing. This was really leading up to this detour, right? Now Aubrey made this comment that I didn't love. When they were in the car, she was like, "Oh, it makes me very happy that they're behind us, but also it makes me happy because they're nice and I like that they're right here." It's like, you tried to course
that's
correct.
right. Yeah, you tried to fix that.
Yeah, you exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I wanted.
You realized that was going to be on TV, and you said,
Yeah.
Right. That isn't very nice. That isn't very nice. I didn't really love that. And then everything after that was now about, oh, we want to make sure that we help them because they definitely did help us. And it's like you're trying to fix this because you know that you were wrong. And it made me very turned off to them. And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, wait a minute. I really wanted to condemn her for this, but isn't that a very real thought? Like even if they did help you on the fish fry with Derek, reminding her to make sure she salted the sardines. Like, even if you did end up in front of them, your first thought, because you think you're in private because you're with your partner.
Sure.
So you're just saying like,
Right.
oh, I love that they're behind us. And it's like, you're not trying to be mean, but it sounds mean. And it's like, so I don't know. I kind of changed my attitude with that because I could see myself doing that. And it's like, listen, I'm not a dick. But come on, it is a race. It's a race. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry.
There's a lot of money at stake.
Yeah. And then you kind of felt bad for her that now she probably had this guilt like this entire time. Yeah. So I just want to know if anyone, do you have any thoughts on that? Did you care? Did you even pick up on it?
Of her comment? No, I definitely caught that, and I did get that feeling of like, oh crap, they're going to be watching this. So
Right.
let me say something nice really fast now to cover this up. But what do you think of that of like teams helping each other this much this late in the game? Because I feel like Aubrey and David felt like they had to kind of pay DX and Claire back, right? Like if you're DX and Claire, like they kind of just went out of their way to help, and it's like you are in the top 5. Well, you're in the top 5 for a game for $1 million. Like, I don't know that I would be helping people that much at this stage of the game. And obviously it benefited them in the end because Aubrey and David kind of got their backs and helped them out. But I don't know. I'd have a hard time like helping teams get the answers or finish things quicker. And you know that like a lot of this is timing. If we help you get ahead and then we fall behind another team now, we're not going to even know where we are. Are we 4th? Are we 5th? Are we out now? And we could have been ahead of this team that we helped. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just a big risk.
I mean, when Derek was helping them the first time, I remember thinking to myself, like, dude, what are you doing? There are not a lot. It's not like, you have a plethora of teams and you're just trying to get up to the top with the last couple of people. Like, there's not a lot of players in this game anymore.
Right.
And like,
there's still 10 pairs.
I understood his thought process when he was leaving of like, well, now they'll owe us one. And it did benefit both of them in the end, but there's still, and I don't know if it's that like Big Brother is the show that I cling to, but it's like I don't trust these people to help me if the shoe was on the other foot. Like I helped them get ahead, and then it's like, okay, cool, thanks. Like, how do you know they're gonna owe you one? You know?
Do you
I feel like
think
at
there are
this
any
stage of the
te-
game, it's a
right,
little risky.
right? Do you think there are any teams that are left in there that if DX and Claire had helped them, they would not have returned the favor? Do you think there's any other teams that were in this mega leg that like would not have been as kind as Aubrey and David? And like, who do you think they would be? If you think there are, because I can see Lewis and Michelle. I mean, Lewis and DX have that bromance going, right?
Sure.
So I think they would help him out. But like, would an Emily or a Molly be so kind, or a Marcus or a Michael?
I don't know. I feel like I'm not, me personally, I'm not well enough versed in the Amazing Race, like to really. It's very hard to say. Because I will go back to, I did watch that season with Kayla. Remember Kayla from Challenge USA? Now,
Yes,
her and
yes.
her partner on their season had done something like that. They had received help and then burned that person the next time, did not pay it back. And I was like, wow, that is really nasty. Really. And that's why I was like, I just don't like Kayla. But then I turned back around to her during the challenge, but that was part of the reason why I didn't like her, that exact situation. But I say all this to say I never would have imagined that she would have done it. So I don't know what the telltale signs of a couple doing that on The Amazing Race looks like, if there is any.
Right.
Because Big Brother is so built around that, we almost expect it. I don't really expect it in the Amazing Race world. And when it did happen, I was turned off to it because I just don't feel like that's the atmosphere here.
It's such a wholesome, nice show.
Right. It's like, you're not supposed to do that. I was very turned off to it. So I don't know. I'm very endeared to all these people, but I don't put anything past anyone. You're still trying to win $1 million, which, let's keep it real. That's still considerably more than what Big Brother is worth.
Right. This is a
why
larger
not?
prize. Yeah.
Right. Why not?
We just watched a Challenge USA. The prize there was $500,000. And Big Brother just upped it to $750,000. Like, it wasn't even that for a long time.
$250,000 under. There are other shows that their grand prize is less than the difference between this.
Yeah.
You can't put it past anyone to do anything for $1 million. So like, who knows?
Right. It's interesting.
Especially if it's the last thing to keep you in the race. Never mind just winning. I just want to just stay in for a chance at tomorrow. I don't know. I'll screw you over.
Yeah. I'll screw it over.
All right. So that's that. Am I heard?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Oh, I don't hear you.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm having an issue. Please hold.
Okay.
Or talk about something else.
Well, now the next thing is the tightrope, right?
Yeah. What were we gonna say?
Right?
Yeah.
That's the next thing, right?
Yes.
Now I won't throw it off now because
we've talked about it like a bunch of times. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear Kyle talk about the tightrope over.
I know.
Was it the gorge?
Oh no, he's gone.
Oh man, Kyle has left the building.
He said, "I'm embarrassed," and he left.
Oh, there he is.
Oh. Are we heard?
Hello.
I just left because I can hear talking because it was coming through the speaker of the computer, but I couldn't hear it here. And I was like, I don't even know what they're saying. I just got to get the hell out of here. This is uncomfortable. All right. So anyway.
Your audio changed too, so I think your mic just disconnected for a minute.
Yeah, it just happens sometimes. I'm sorry.
No biggie.
I don't know what to say. All right, so that's that. So Dress for Success, we saw now Aubrey and David kind of helping Claire and DX here. And I'm happy to be back. I'm risen. I'm back. Hello, I'm back. A lot A lot of people, some discourse here. A lot of people. It's just our friend Matt. It's not the masses. So any Hoosers. Yeah, so we saw Aubrey and David now kind of helping DX and Claire here. But it felt forced. It didn't really feel like Aubrey wanted to do this, but she kind of felt like she needed to. So they did. And I just thought that was noteworthy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then after that, we finally had this roadblock. I am not telling you about it again. All right. You had, had to go across the tightrope. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Over what was it, where was it located though? Above the
tightrope was suspended 300 feet above the El Tahoe Gorge, and it was strung beneath Puente Nuevo. And you had to select the clue marked with the flag of Andalusia.
Yes.
And return to their partner. Okay. This proved very challenging for some.
This is my worst nightmare.
This looked awful.
My
Just
worst
absolutely terrible.
nightmare.
Yeah.
I give Claire credit. She held it together to get the task done, and then once she was back on solid ground, she had the meltdown that I'm sure she wanted to have on the tightrope itself.
You know, and that is the difference between me and Claire, is that I would have had the meltdown on the tightrope. Like, it would have been bad.
I laughed a lot at Aubrey on the way back. She goes, "Please let this be correct. I don't think I can do this again." And I was like, this would absolutely be me.
Yeah.
Just crying at the thought of having to go back as you're still moving forward, because she didn't ever pause. She was just crying and going forward. This is very funny, like, to see. Like, you know, good for her. Good for her.
My very favorite part of this roadblock was the moment where Claire and Aubrey are side by side.
Oh my god!
Aubrey's talking like, "Okay, we got this. We can do this." And Claire's just like, "Don't talk to me." And then
please don't talk to me. Sorry.
And then Aubrey goes, "The talking was helping me."
Yeah, I can't.
I forgot that.
I loved it. That was my favorite part.
And you know, I could see being on either side of that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, just depending on where your energy was that day.
Oh no, I am absolutely the person of like, can you shut up, please?
Right, but I could also
do not
that
talk
person
to me.
with,
don't look at me. Don't breathe near me.
Keep talking, so I'm not focusing on anything else. And just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Depending on what my energy was that day, I could flop either way. I totally see both sides of that.
I had to laugh because like I can't fault her because I would be exactly the same way. But like you see Claire like going through all like the emotional whatevers that she's going through, and then she gets off at the end and she's like, "I'm so sorry for my drama." It's like I couldn't help but laugh. Like the same girl, I would be crying and screaming at everybody too.
Yeah. I loved it. So that's that.
Were you surprised everyone got the flag on the first try?
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that someone would get it wrong.
The way I was like, I have never heard this word in my life. No way.
It was the only flag that really looked like that, though. There was that other one that looked like kind of green and red, but
I think that was the Portugal flag.
Yeah, I don't know flags that well. Good for you, John. Good for you. Like the green and white stripes were pretty. No, they really stood out. There was not really anything that looked quite like that.
Right. Now,
I don't know why you would want someone to have to go back. That's sick.
Well, just what's
wrong with you?
Just to see what happened. I was just surprised they all got it on the first shot because they were up there, freaking out. Some of them, like you might not be thinking totally clearly. I was a little surprised that everybody got it first shot. No one had to go back again. I was a little surprised, but. I don't know.
Another thing that surprised me, because then we see like, everybody's doing this and they're choosing who's going or whatever. And then we get to Emily and Molly. And I said, you are going to send that girl with her leg across this tightrope right now. She had to be the one to do this. I was like, how is she going to recover from this? How is she going to do this? The entire 2 episodes have been about how her leg is giving her problems, her knee, she's in pain, all this. I'm like, you're going to send her?
I wonder,
did the slowest you'll ever have to move?
Right. I feel like didn't they make a mention of like Emily's done 5 roadblocks already? I've only done 3. Like, if they have to
Did
both
they?
do a
I don't
certain
remember.
amount,
I think it's
if they both have to,
6.
but if they both have to do a a certain amount, like I wonder if this was just one that Molly had to do to like kind of keep on
Right.
that pace
Maybe.
of making it
Because
even.
distance wise, I mean, like you're really just shuffling down. Like I definitely hear what you're saying, but like
Mhm.
without knowing what's coming next, if I know I
Yeah,
have to do
that's
some
fair.
more, all I have to do is
Yeah,
kind
what
of
if
like
the
shuffle this way.
what if the next roadblock involves like running uphill or something?
Yeah, no, I hear
Yeah.
you.
Like
Yeah.
That's fair.
so.
I was also laughing so hard because like you're seeing everybody like scooting across this thing, having such a hard time, and then freaking Marcus and Michael get there, and he is zooming across this zip line like he's just walking
Mm-hmm.
in a normal street,
Like just absolutely nothing. Just go, go, go.
moving and grooving. I said, "What is?
Mhm.
How are you doing this so easily?"
Well, I think Michael did this one right for them, and he's like a fighter pilot or something.
He
So
flew
he doesn't.
across that
Yeah,
thing.
he doesn't care about heights at all. So,
But even still, you would
he's
think
a-
like balance. What you would think that it would be hard in some way. He was just like, "Nah, I just gotta walk to the thing, get the thing. Goodbye, we're done."
yeah. I don't know.
I can't even imagine it.
Mm-mm.
Like it does. I mean, like the distance. Like never mind the distance. I just can't imagine the feeling of only having that underneath me. You know,
Yeah.
even if it's only 6 feet off the ground, that would still jar
Right,
me.
it's still a tightrope.
You know, right? Like it's still like that just by itself is alarming.
I actually think I'd like to try this.
Have
I
fun.
think I
Okay. Well, there's a difference. I would like to try it too, but not in a racing situation. Can I just do it?
No.
It doesn't matter how long I take. If it just takes if it takes me an hour, then fine. Like I just want to just go across. I want to just, but I don't want to have to come back. If I go across, I'm done. Let this.
You would be
just
hard
go.
pressed to get me to take a step onto that thing. It is not happening.
I would like to give it a go, but in no way in a race way. I don't want to feel forced.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
timed.
If I need to take a moment, I want to take my moment. Well, you have a question from the audience here. Now, could you Irish step dance across a tightrope?
I would certainly give it my best shot.
I believe in you.
I'd pay good money for this.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah, I sure would.
Mhm, mhm.
I sure would. Yeah.
I can't believe this is the first time this has come up.
Me either. What do you mean you haven't told us this before?
I don't know. Just never came up. I don't know.
We have so many things to get into. We should have a bonus episode of just random fun facts that maybe
I
we
would
have
love it.
not shared. 3 facts. We'll talk offline.
Sure.
But the conclusion of this leg saw first we saw the win
Yes.
Yes.
of Lewis and Michelle,
Which
which was wonderful to watch.
It was
I'm
so
sorry.
nice.
I'm sorry to cut you. I feel like their win came halfway through the episode. Like
It
they
did.
won,
Yes.
and then there was still 25 minutes of the episode left, so that
Because
everybody
everyone
else
was so
could
far behind them.
There was so much more
They
to do.
freaking nailed it.
finish.
Sorry, I thought you guys were going to be saying more. Yeah, amazing. So props to Lewis and Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
They also won a trip, right? Some Expedia points.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it somewhere in Asia? I feel like.
It was. I feel
No,
like it was
Tokyo.
Japan. Oh, yeah, Tokyo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Very
there's some
exciting.
kind of sushi experience
Yeah,
included.
they were like, you get to make sushi, you get to learn
Mhm.
calligraphy. I was like, can I come?
That's
It
awesome.
sounds
That's
wonderful.
awesome. Right.
I would like for them to just give us auto updates. I'd like to see pictures of their trip. How can we insert ourselves into your trip?
How do we make this about us?
Right. Exactly. Please include us at every step of the way. But we had to see the departure of Marcus and Michael.
I really thought, and I guess it was just the editing, I was so certain this entire mega leg that Emily and Molly were going home.
Yeah. They have really stood up.
Mhm.
They really have. They're fighters, But Molly's a fighter. That knee.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely happy for them. Obviously sad to see my winner picks go. I liked Marcus and Michael. I know I told you guys I was definitely drawn to them in the beginning because as two brothers, it's like it would be type of thing that like it would be cool for me and my brother to be able to do potentially. So that was like I was really really enjoying watching them, and I felt like they had such a big advantage for so long in the season with the navigation, even though they did have a couple of missteps. But like just like when Marcus was saying he was like a tank navigator or something in the military, I'm like, these guys, and they've been in other countries, they've been around the world, like that is a huge advantage.
Sure
but they just made one too many missteps in this leg and they couldn't recover. It's but
I felt
they had a great
so
season.
bad too, because when they got to the end, oh, like how do you feel? And he said, I feel like I just cost my brother $500,000. Like it broke my heart to hear him talk about it that way.
Yeah.
I'm sure the conversation is still like, obviously you go into the season always wanting to win, obviously.
Of course.
But in the weeks 1, 2, 3, it's probably more just like, I can't believe we're doing this. This is so awesome. What country are we going to next? And then you get to the top 5 and it's like, we're only a few legs away from actually winning this thing. So like when you get that close, and I'm sure they probably feel like they could have done better. Mega leg, you should be able to make up more time. It's not like a regular leg where if you have one bad screw up, that could be it. So it's got to be a tough way to go out for them. But yeah.
But they did say some really heartwarming things on the way out. They kind of made my eyes tear up. And they were talking about, we're really, really grateful for this opportunity. The fact that we were able to actually spend this time together, just one-on-one, and do these things together. We had some really, really great moments, as brothers, and I got to learn more about him. And that was really, really nice. And that really warms my heart. I thought that was special.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so true. And I feel like, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I just think, as people get older and everything, you might feel like you see someone all the time, right? But that all the time could be once a week, and now all of a sudden you're just with this person every single day, and it's like it's got to be nice. It's got to be a nice break from reality, and now it's it ends. So
yeah, I don't know. I just had this image of what the two of them probably looked like at around 6:14 p.m. whatever time it would be in the country they were in, and the sun is beginning to set, and you feel like you had such a wonderful day together, and at 6:14 specifically, you can look ahead to the rest of the evening, and there's just so much more evening to be had before you had your next amazing day. That very specific moment of the evening that you're just like, oh my gosh, I just have so much hope for what this night can be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to have that very moment with your brother in this country and just be on this experience, I don't know, I just imagining them in that moment, just made me feel really good. I just think it's just a very cute thought. This is just such a lovely little show. I just love The Amazing Race.
It really is.
Yeah, it's just about relationships and people, and it's just so just endearing and heartwarming to watch. It's just very special. It's a special show. Yeah, we're mostly tonight. So that's The Amazing Race. So what do we have coming up? Unless there's anything else anyone has.
My last thought. This is it for me. Now that my winner picks are out. Yeah. Now that my winner picks are out. Because I feel like we all have really started to love Lewis and Michelle. So now that I don't feel like I have to root for two different teams, because I felt like I was, kind of sharing my cheering for both teams. Now I'm all in. I'm totally 100% rooting for Lewis and Michelle to get the win. That's what I want to see win at this point.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love it. Yeah, my winner picks went out for a COVID infraction. We hope to see you in a future season.
Very unjust what happened to you.
Yeah, very sad. So I am also putting what's left of my eggs in the Lewis and Michelle basket. I guess Gina's still all in on hers.
I'm still rooting for Mom and Dad. Derek and Claire are going to bring this home for us.
Right, that's fair. They were your originals, so go on.
Yeah.
And that's that. I guess we'll see how things wrap up.
Yep.
I have to imagine this will be over before Christmas, right? Because how many people are left? There's only 4 left, right? It's
Well,
Emily and
from what
Molly.
they said, it sounded like they were saying there's only 2 left. Because he
Oh,
kept saying,
really?
like, when they were getting in, he was like, "Oh, you guys are in like the top, whatever, the top 4, the top 5, and you're gonna make it to the finale, provided you can get through our next set." Like, I feel like it was like the next episode is the last one before the finale, is what it sounded like he was saying.
I missed it. I missed that. Which is also
Unless I
wonderful
misheard.
timing for us. Oh, I would love that. I would love that. Because then we're just wrapping up everything in the next episode. We don't have this one extra, just hanging out in the wind. We've got Survivor. What we got to do? Like, this is perfect. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
December 7th, 2022.
Oh, thank you.
That looks like episode 12. It says it's called, that episode apparently is called The Only Leg That Matters, and it looks like it's going to take place between Iceland and the US.
So that's the finale.
Could be the December 7th.
Okay.
Yeah, the only leg that matters. Yeah.
So yeah, that would be 2 more, yeah?
Because you could be almost last the entire time and just win
Right.
that one and you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Sweet.
Very
So we're
exciting.
wrapping up The Amazing Race on December 12th.
Yes.
That'll be in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, what do we have? December 1st at 9:30. 9:30. We're doing 2 episodes of the Challenge 38 because we took a little hiatus for Thanksgiving.
Is that already December 1st? That's this Thursday.
Yep.
Is that what you're telling me right now?
Yep.
December 1st is
December is this week. My
Yep.
God.
Thursday. Uh-huh. Yeah,
In my brain, it's still October.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, which also means rent is due. All right, rent. So everybody get your coins in order.
Great.
December 1st. All right. Everyone's
Yeah.
pockets are a
Goodbye,
little lighter
money.
when we're all
Bye.
together next.
Bye, money.
Yeah. Goodbye, money. So stupid. So 9:30, 2 episodes of the Challenge 38, and we'll be doing it in a rapid form. All right. We need to be wrapped up by 10:20 so we can have an intermission before we go down under at 10:30, covering the Challenge Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's how things are looking. Next Monday, we've got Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. All right. That's at 9:30 also, in case you missed it. December 5.
December 5.
All right. Anything else for the benefit of the community?
I don't think so.
I think that's all I got.
All right. Sounds great. You can find us on the socials at StratChatPod or on our website at StratChatPod.com. This has been Strat Chat. Thanks for chatting. We're out of here.